Hey travelers, it's Eric here. Today we're going to visit the Oxford Cemetery. It was established in 1855 here in Oxford, Ohio. It's home of the University of Miami, Oxford. So come along, join me on this adventure. It's a really well kept cemetery. It's very pretty, especially in the fall time when the leaves are changing. These vaults here belong to the Munns. Look like he was a doctor. I've seen that name several places already in the cemetery, so must be a prominent name in this Oxford area. On this one here, really caught my eye because of the book, paying tribute to their son who died at 7 years old. Then you have others like this one here for Philip Shearer, I'm sorry. He was a brave sailor, victim of a German sub. He died at his post to save others. He died in 1942. So here in the cemetery, they have a row, several rows actually, of tombstones that are tribute to the Miami University. Some professors, some are just university graduates. Like this one here is Sue Neiswanger. She was class of 1937. Where over here you have Roland Neiswanger, and he was a professor of accountancy in Miami University from 1935 to 1972. Back here you have George C. Groscup, I'm sorry, where he was a professor of economics in 1950 to 1975. You can tell all of them basically by the headstones. They all look really similar. Like you got Harry here. He actually has an emblem on here, you know. He was part of the Department of Speech, the chairman of the Department of Speech. Mildred. This is Mildred and Paul. Paul was the director of student health services in Miami. He has the same emblem as Mildred. That's pretty neat. The cemetery was established back in, I believe it was 1855. So you got some really old gravestones here. This one here. Can't really see the date on this one. This one is 1868. And you do have some newer ones as well. Now these three here are part of the, I think it's Philadelphian Society. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce what that says. There's some really big tombstones. Looks like this is part of the Goff family. Edward and Charlotte. Looks like he passed away in 1912 and she passed away in 1917. And their son Lafayette, who was 22 when he passed away in 86. Alright, so this is G. Kiger for George Kiger and his wife Sarah. It's like he passed in 1879, she passed in 1869. It says this was erected in 1884. And here's another Kiger. And let's see if I can see through the tree here. This is Moses and Maria. It looks like Moses passed in 1890 and she died in 1848 or 9. I can't tell. Let me see here. 49. And then his other wife, Jane, is buried here too, passed in 1901. And this was erected in 1884 as well. And it looks like they had a few infants here as well, buried next to them. Pearson. I like the older tombstones. A lot of them in this cemetery. So it's a very beautiful cemetery, and it's pretty big too. As you can tell, it expands out pretty far. Looks like we have a Freemason here for Hiram Pearson. Oh, here's an interesting looking tombstone. It's like a Celtic cross. Like the writing on that one for Alice. This is the brother. This is in memoriam for the Work family. Reverend James Work. Yeah, there's several listed on here. This is a nice looking one too. For the Heath. Over here we have a second section. Looks like it's a whole bunch of tombstones the same. And they are Miami of Ohio professors and alums as well. Looks like you have Charles Campbell Griffin. He was a emeritus professor of chemistry and biochemistry. Back here you have Phyllis Bender, Health Services, Wayne Gibson, Director of Athletics, running back coach on the football team. There's several sections here. World War II veteran. Thank you for your service. This one here is Buddy Keith Hated. Doesn't look like he has passed on yet, which is good. Hopefully he's still with us. Vast number here. It's got a few mausoleums. Let's take a look here. This is Patterson family. He giveth his beloved sleep. Looks like this is Reverend Patterson, passed in 1868. His wife Maria, passed in 1889. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks like there's 8 interred in this tomb. That's a beautiful stained glass. It looks like somebody broke it. Just don't understand people who want to come in and disturb the dead. People who show no respect. Just floors me. This is Alan A. Wilkinson. Doesn't really have any other information on that. There's another one over there. Let's go see this one. Alright, this is the Freeman Vault. Let's see here. Alright, looks like in there, I don't know if you can see. Looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 interred in here. Looks like 1879 is the date on there. This looks like Drake. I saw this. They have like a chalice looking bird bath here. And a little bench. Really done well. Doesn't give really information, just Drake family plot here. Another Freemason. And we come up on another section of Miami University alum and professors. See John Thompson, PhD, professor of geography, and Bertha Thompson, EDD. Let's see, professor of education and chair of department of Western College. And Western College, if I remember right, was a female university that they merged with Miami University later on. Professor of zoology. Live each day to the fullest. Nice. Must have a passion for planes too. This one here, like skiing, it looks like. And birds. I think it's neat how all the tombstones kind of grouped together, look the same. I really think it's neat how all the tombstones are kind of grouped together and look the same. Alright, this is the Reuter Beaver Chapel here at the cemetery. It's not really that big. Still not bad looking building. Alright, so it looks like here in this section we have the military. Let's see here what we got. In the middle it says "To the Unknown Dead." Little marker there. Some of these are hard to make out. He was part of the 67th Ohio Infantry, I think is what it says. Yeah, not positive on that one. He was part of the 69th Ohio Infantry. He was in the band. Second Ohio Cavalry. The 26th Ohio Infantry. Private, first class. Looks like he was probably served in World War I or prior to that. He passed in 1938. North 7th Infantry Division in Korea. Looks like he passed in 52. I really like this one here for Rhodus. Something about tombstones with artwork just draws me in every time. Alright, so this looks like this belonged to the Hand. Darby Hand, Hannah, and Eliza. This one here looks like it has a lamb on it. Probably means there's a child here. Yeah. It just says Louise, 1917. Let's take a look over here. Looks like there's a whole bunch of tombstones kind of stacked on each other, around each other here. Not sure if they were knocked over at one point. It's a shame if they're not where they're supposed to be. So this is a very big cemetery here in Oxford, Ohio. Beautiful though. Right. Looks like Sarah Booth. It's a nice looking tombstone. I like this one here. Looks like it has like a lamp on top. Same with this one over here. So it's that big one back there. Belongs to their family. Died in 1867. 40 years, 10 months. Big old rock, just it's got some markers on it. So it looks like back here, and sorry for the crunching, it is fall here. There are leaves underneath the feet. But it looks like this is a newer section. Back here in the back half of the cemetery. Yeah. Now here's one that really caught my eye too. I love the cross with the design on it. What a beautiful headstone. This one here looks like an open book. This is the Caldwell family. It looks like they erected the bench. Back here is their memorial headstones. Let's see here, turn around. Look, you have John and Laura. You have, that was Junior, the first John. This one here is John Senior, and it looks like he was a Freemason. And then you have Barbara.
And this is actually Caldwell as well.
Oh, they got Caldwells up here too. Yep, William served in the Navy in Vietnam. Nice. Now look, there's another bench. This is the Fay family erected this bench, and it looks like you have Bonnie and Ralph, Catherine, and Thomas Fay.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what the diamonds versus the stars mean, so we have to look that up.
Yeah, not really sure. Looks like the women have the triangles,
yeah,
and then the stars are on the men, so not really sure if that meant they were in service, or it looks like Thomas is still with us, thank goodness. So here's a tombstone for Edwin Coulter. He was killed in the Battle of the Argonne Forest, which was in October 4th of 1918 in World War I. He's actually buried in Argonne, France. Here is a really beautiful tombstone for Thomas Rhine. It's like got a walking stick on it, doves. Wow, such a beautiful artwork for it. Must have been really into the outdoors. And then, let's see here. You are ever a part of our lives. All the good you have shared with will live on in our hearts. And this one here, growing up in northern Ohio, I used to go to Marblehead Lighthouse all the time, so seeing this really caught my eye. The friels here, what a beautiful tombstone. Just simple, but yet beautiful. And it's got some seashells where somebody left tribute. Again, what a beautiful cemetery. Well kept. Awesome. Another beautiful looking tombstone with art on it. Some more benches. Leaves. Here on this one here. We little knew that day God was going to call your name. In life we loved you dearly, in death we do the same. It broke our hearts to lose you. You did not go alone, for part of us went with you the day God called you home. You left us beautiful memories. Your love is still our guide. And though we cannot see you, you are always at our side. Our family chain is broken and nothing seems the same, but as God calls us one by one, the chain will link again. Wow. Wow. And that's a beautiful looking tombstone as well. Somebody put down a little thing for Pappy. Here's an interesting one with an owl on it. Looks like somebody come and decorated it. For Chelsea, artist. And on the back side we got different pictures. If tears could build a stairway and memories a lane, I'd walk right up to heaven and bring you home again. Beautiful, beautiful tombstone. Oh, this one here is very interesting here. Looks like a tree trunk. It's got a cross, a dove, looks like an anchor on it for holly. Must have been a sailor. Looks like there's like some rope with knots tied into it, like sailing knots. Very interesting. I really like this one. Looks like the copper is rusted here. Well, thanks for joining us here on this little trip here to the Oxford Cemetery. Such a beautiful, like I've said it many times, so I'll say it again. It was very beautiful and well kept. A lot of history in the cemetery as well, especially, you know, with the Miami University and Western College in the area. All those tombstones, beautiful. Thanks, travelers. May your travels always be blessed, and may you always have safe travels.